Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending. Before I start talking to you about what is a family office and our intention of this gathering today, I like to recognize and give credit to two gentlemen that they led really all the events and the sequence of phone calls, meetings, Zoom, especially everything was happening virtually. And join me in giving a hand of applause for Professor Paul Johnson and Paul Gray. I'm going to take 2 minutes to tell you the story of this event. When did it start and where are we today? I met Paul Gray virtually. I received an invitation from him to sit on his round table that he has been running on social media in the late summer of 2020. Actually, we did not meet until last September at the University Club, where I was invited to an art gallery or art presentation for someone was presenting a large collection of antique Persian rugs. So I reached out to two of my good friends, so both of them are here. Glenn is here. Where's Glenn? Glenn is the head of the commercial real estate of Valley National Bank. And and Paul, I said, gentlemen, would you like to join me? There'll be dinner and then you would see Persian rugs. And they met me and we were like looking for each other. Which one is Paul Gray? I only saw Paul in the little thumbnail of Zoom, and that's where we always met or on the phone. Since we met, we spoke frequently about global investments. And at the same time, one time I expressed just an idea. I said, Paul, I feel like writing a book. I want to talk about the family office, talk about all the voids that I see in describing and identifying what is a family office. In the family office space, we say every family office is one family office. Probably this is the only statement that I believe about many statements that I hear because it is true. There are no two family offices that are alike. Every family has its own vision, its own strategy, and its own goals, legacy, philanthropy, and everything is different that is shaped by the vision of the patriarchs or the second, third generation that inherited the wealth. During that conversation, immediately Paul Gray introduced me to a publisher from England. You remember?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the gentleman from England, he loved the idea. He said, I'm going to designate a ghostwriter to work with you. It is a unique idea that we don't have, and we would love to market that for you. And I think it was, I looked at the dates, Paul. April 9 of 2021, he contacted Professor Paul Johnson. And I went through all those mails, and Professor Johnson immediately, he said, this is a great idea, I like it, I want to speak to the faculty, and I want to speak to the lady, the dean of the school. I'll get back to you. By June 3rd, there were several communications and phone calls with Professor Johnson. I think it was June 3rd of 2021, we have a Zoom meeting with the faculty. Everyone was impressed, they liked the idea, but that was for them the end of the semester, and then this summer, then you have to wait. Things that Paul Gray and we are not like, what's going to happen this whole summer? By the end of the summer, Professor Johnson got back and he said, now that we are back, let's rekindle again the conversation. The students' organization was also invited to be among the organizers, and all that led to where we are today. I want to thank everyone who worked with us on this. It has been a relentless effort from everyone. So thank you everybody who really worked on making this event a reality. Now I have here about 40 pages of, no, not 40 pages, I'm just kidding, of description of what is a family office, and in the description I'm going to inject a introduction of my family. The purpose of this is to give you ideas of what other families do, because I sit on the advisory board of several families in different countries. And there's no conflict of interest. Their investments are different from ours. Some of them are our partners, but the idea, my purpose of doing this is giving you also thoughts that will help you raise questions to the panelists, quiz them, give them a hard time. I'm going to be one of them, so it doesn't matter. And this way we can increase the familiarity with the space. Again, I like to say that there is no simple formula to form a family office. And many family offices are really formed because the existing services do not adapt to the vision that they bring. So if they do have the AUM, they decide that maybe it is more feasible for us to establish our own family office and at the same time reach out to service providers and to experts from the outside. I'm going to cover some of the, I normally don't take with me to stage papers, but today, I feel today I am in the academia. I mean, normally for me teaching is the mentoring the youngsters in our family. I'm going to start by saying GRC Investment Group, ours, is a single family office. I am in the third generation, and we do have the fourth. I am the head of mentoring them, preparing for succession, and then we have fifth and sixth. And then I don't know what happened in the last month since I left there. When I inherited this post, the family was 91 members. I was in Miami 2 days ago in a different conference, and someone asked me, how big is your family? I said, not very big. When I left Dubai, close to 14 days ago, they were 321. So imagine, you have to deal with, everybody is a cousin, everybody is a second cousin, some are in-laws, but we maintain one pool of capital, and one very important factor that you all should remember today during every conversation, which is governance. You don't have governance, you don't have constitution, things is not going to work. Just like here in this country. People from all over the world admire the Constitution of the United States, how the forefathers of this country, they worked diligently. I mean, Benjamin Franklin, John Quincy Adams, help me, one more.
Madison.
James Madison was the one with the amendments, but I wanted to say Thomas Jefferson also, all right? So they worked diligently on a great book, and every family should have a great book, governance. Aside from governance, there is the vision, there is the mission statement, there is the succession plan, the goal of the investments, delineating the working members of the family, and also the non-working members of the family. The compensation is not the same. The distribution is not the same. That also sometimes it creates situations. But again, that's a conversation for another day. We invest in, our goal is, I really don't like it. I can do better. Yeah. So we do invest in alternatives on a global space. The purpose is capital preservation and growth. The capital that we invest abroad is access capital that is contributed from the businesses of all the members. Our members have businesses in telecommunication, in maritime shipping, in aviation, telecommunication, in movie production, and in free zones, among many other businesses. It seems like, we don't let anybody stay without work. You want to go to school, we will send you. You want to open a business, we'll open a business. But you cannot be just someone laying back and receiving a stipend every year that is enough for you to survive. We want you to do a lot better than surviving, to ensure that you and your family will be able to maintain the same life standards. So the capital that we invest abroad is an access capital. So our risk tolerance also has certain thresholds, and the purpose is give everyone an opportunity to be part of the business. Internally, we have an investment committee that comprises of 7 members. 3 of them are permanent, and the other 4 are rotational. Probably all of you thinking, is Kamil permanent or rotational? Definitely permanent. They stuck with me from day one. And we give an opportunity for the rotational to be re-elected by vote. So, and every family is entitled and welcome to promote and elect a member to replace another member. So to make sure that all the branches of the family are involved upon their request. Our investment committee meet where we have around the room, big room, all the nominated successors. They have to come with their tablets. I quiz most of them if I can, I have the time. Show me the notes that you wrote to make sure that they were awake and paying attention. And also quiz them on accountability. What do you think of this? What is your idea? My purpose is not really to give them a grade like GPAs like you guys have over here, but to really make an assessment of who can replace us when we step aside. The line of communication is open on a regular basis. And we know that today, due to the new life expectancy, things are different today. In my time, there was my dad and his generation, and then me and my siblings and all the other cousins that are contemporary. Today, our grandfathers, I mean, we have among the patriarchs, grandfathers in their 80s. So instead of 2 generations, now we see 4 generations in the family. So we have an opening for 4 different visions and 4 different approaches. Not necessarily decision making, but the conversation is alive. And in reference to governance and to succession, there is no, I don't believe in stale policies. Both policies are subject to be revised on a regular basis to keep the trend and to keep the family contemporary with the current affairs. You know, while we focus on commercial real estate, on renewable energy, all different types of renewable energy, and on waste management, for me those are core. We do have smaller buckets in fintech, in medical device, and I do invest in patents. I work with different universities on patent auctions, and also I work on secondaries, as we have a good appetite to buy commercial real estate in gateway cities, which we call in the commercial real estate, we call them trophy buildings. That's on the investment side. On the succession side, I do have the mentoring program. Those selected, I take them with me on different trips. Some of them make it, some of them lose interest. Others, they enjoy the traveling with me because they can go shopping and they can have a good time in Paris or London or come to America and watch Tom Brady playing football. I mean, I had all those situations, but and then I couldn't come to the meeting. I was watching football. I said, great, we all love football, but we are in business, so it's a different situation. That's really about what I can tell you about the family office. I jumped on covering so many different bullets to give you an opportunity, again, like I said earlier, to ask questions. The panelists are guests. They are not getting paid. They're coming here for you. And I know among us we have students, we have alumni, we have already graduates, we have families, and we also have investment professionals. If there is any question for me, I am here, and later on I'm going to be sitting on the panel. I think I see my name there, right? And we'll be glad to answer questions. Go ahead, Miss.
So, thank you for this introduction. So my question is, given the size of your family, I wonder what kind of governance or measures you do to really allow that voice from the different branches of the family. You mentioned that you want to have that conversation open, but in practice, do you meet, do you have meetings periodically? Do you do this in person? You do it in Zoom? You have representatives? How does it work in practice?
Thank you. Great question.
300 people.
Great question. ¿Puedo responder en español, señor?
Ay, sí, muchas gracias.
Okay. My mysterious humor, when someone asks me a question like this, I say, don't worry, I am a benevolent dictator. All of you laugh, but it is true. Because in such situation, you have to either put them online and say, look, this is what governments indicate. I know your dad or your uncle or your mom, if she is a widower or a widow, and sent you to me, but your parents know the answer. We do have business cycles that we stick to. We do have openings for always adding buckets, eliminating buckets, but there is a democratic system that they have to adhere to. That to come any day and say, why are we investing in this and we are not buying Bitcoin? You know, now the oil is going up, maybe we should prospect on oil or on another renewable energy, or why are we doing 38% of our portfolio is commercial real estate in different global capitals. I say, look, the investment round is going to be and so they make sure that you are at 10 and that can be answered. But you cannot expect that there is no pushback in a family of 321, and especially that they engage, the different generations, they engage with other families and they come back with ideas that does not apply to our family. I hope that answered your question. I'm getting a signal that I overdid it, but I want to thank you all for keeping up with me, and I will see you during the day. Thank you very much.